How's it going, everybody? Out of school today. Where you working? All right. That's good. Both of you? Oh, yeah. I'd be honored to have you both. Anybody else ask you? That's good. You remember I asked. Good to see you. Appreciate your service.
Thank you.
Hey, go Dogs.
Yes, sir.
Good to see you. Y'all doing all right? Good. How's it going, guys? Y'all know Governor Ducey from Arizona. And
How are you? Nice to meet you.
greatest first lady in the country right there, Marty Kemp.
Hey, how are you? Nice.
Hey, how you doing?
How are you?
Hey,
You doing all right?
Kemp.
Good to see you. How are you? Good to see you.
That's Governor Kemp.
Good to meet you.
Oh, hey. How are you?
Hey, good to see you.
So pretty in
Thank
pumpkin
you.
dress.
Thanks for all y'all do. Hey, thank you for all y'all do.
Well, thank you. Thanks for being here.
Our next governor.
I love her. I love her shoes.
I get it.
Look at him.
Look right there.
Thank you. Thank you,
So
sir.
cute. Thank
Y'all
you.
have a blessed day.
Doing all right? Good to see you. I'm great. Thanks for coming out. How you doing?
How are you,
I'm
sir?
doing great. Good to see y'all. Thanks for coming out. Good to see everybody. Yeah. Hey, good to see you. Yeah, good to see you. Hey, thanks for all you guys do.
Good to be back.
Marty,
That's right.
they want to get a picture. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Absolutely. And Governor Ducey from Arizona.
You got it. Good to see you.
All right, ready? 3, 2, 1.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. You got it.
Morning, sir. Doing all right? That's good.
Good morning, sir. How you doing? I'm glad you were friendly. All right. I'm glad you were good.
Good to see you.
Good to see you again. Oh, is that right? Thanks for coming back. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. We're going to get a picture with him. How you doing? It's good to see you. You as well.
Awesome. Appreciate that. How's it going, everybody?
Good. I was going to say, thanks for coming back.
Oh, man. We're glad to be back.
God's
God's country. Yeah. What in the world? Did you pick up the wrong shirt this morning?
No, sir. Go Hound Dogs.
How you doing? Good to see you. We're going to try to get a little revenge for you this weekend on Tennessee.
No, I want to revenge myself.
Yeah, I bet. Well, you might get it. Still got a chance to get it.
Oh, yeah. Every who wins that game, but we're going to beat them.
Nice to see you. That's right. Good to see you, sir. Appreciate what you're doing. How you doing?
How are y'all doing?
How you doing?
Doug Ducey.
Good to see you. How you been?
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. How's it going?
Good.
to
How
see
are
you.
you?
Here you go, Marty. Come on over here with us. Come on, Gov. Get in here. You want to get in with us?
Yeah, I'll take it.
Andrew, take
Yeah, I'll take it for you.
Perfect. Thank you.
Governor Ducey.
How you doing?
First lady.
I'm not going to go.
Hello. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Hey, thank y'all. Get everybody. Y'all make governor.
Can I get in between y'all?
Paul, you want to get in with us? 3, 2, 1. Good to see you.
Thank y'all.
City School.
Thank y'all for what you do. This is Governor Ducey. Hey, I appreciate what you do. We're big fans.
Yeah, go for it.
Thank you.
Yeah, who's got it? appreciate you being here.
How are you? Doug Ducey, good to see you.
Kemp, Commission, and Harold. Right here.
I took a picture of the dog with the signals back. Oh, did you?
Got a great
Oh, that's awesome.
We saw him yesterday.
You want to stand up there?
We saw him yesterday.
It's you little guys.
Yeah.
They're cattle farmers. They just do
They do it all. They do everything.
Hey, I enjoyed reading about them.
Oh yeah, the cattlemen. The cattlemen.
Oh yeah, you bet.
Hey, if everybody will gather around up front, kind of pull in close.
He's over there. Hey, Doug Ducey, good to see you. Nice to see you.
Oh, good. I'm happy to hear that.
Got the best of it.
Just ready to be on the field.
We'll hold it strong.
Hey, first off, I want to thank everyone for turning out, putting up with my Facebook post to come out and support the governor. I know I've drove a lot of you crazy with text messages and phone calls, but it means a lot. But what's most important is this election, and it means a lot to our state and the future of our state. So each one of you being here means you know somebody, you're connected to somebody. We need you to get on the phone. We need you to send out text messages. Same way I bothered you, I need you to bother other people. Let them know, go to the polls, early voting's happening. Be there on election day and re-elect Governor Kemp to be our governor here in the state of Georgia. If we don't, he's already set the tone for the type of governor he is. He's got us through COVID, first state to reopen, get us back in churches, back at work. I think that's vitally important to the heart and soul of our state. But also, he supported our police all across the state with the crime suppression unit. When on the other side of the spectrum, Stacey's trying to defund the police and wants to lock us back down, and we can't allow that to happen here. And that's exactly what will happen if we don't get to the polls and re-elect our governor, Brian Kemp. So it's my honor, my privilege to introduce our 83rd governor, Governor Brian Kemp.
I appreciate you, JD. Thank you so much. It's great to be back in Bremen. I want to just thank so many of y'all for coming out. Stacey Abrams said we live in the worst state in the country. Let's look around how beautiful it is. We live in the greatest state in the country to live, work, and raise our families. What a gorgeous day in the great state of Georgia, and I just appreciate John Daniel and his friendship and his leadership in the county. We got a lot of other great folks with us today. I just want to congratulate and thank Commissioner-elect Danny Ellsbury for being here. Your great sheriff, who's a friend of mine, Stacey Williams. Thank you, Sheriff. We appreciate your support. Commissioner Ryan Farmer, Commissioner Ronnie Ridley. We got Chief Presnell with us, City Manager Perry Hicks with us, Martha Smith from the school board. Hardest job in America, serving on the school board. Amen. Lynn Clayton, who's on the Bremen City Council, along with Jay Otwall, Shannon Christine. We got the superintendent is with us from the school system, so we appreciate what our educators have been doing to get our kids back in the classroom. My good friend and former city councilman, Danny Boswell. Danny, appreciate you being here, brother. And I want to thank your former chairman and someone who is continuing to serve to this day, and just a great friend of ours, and that's Alan Powell, or Alan Poole. Where's Alan? Alan's in the back there. Thank you, Alan. And I just cannot thank John Daniel enough for him working hard to get us a great crowd out here. We've got the hard-working Georgians bus tour literally going all over this state to let people know how important this election is, and let them know also we cannot rest on our laurels. We cannot listen to polls, the media, or anything else. We got to keep working hard. And you got a guy that's worked extremely hard for you in the legislature, Tyler Paul Smith. Tyler Paul, thank you so much for your great leadership, for your friendship. You know, I talk about our record all the time, and it's a good one. But it's not just mine. The General Assembly that we have, the Republican leadership that we have, the people representing this state like Representative Smith are doing an incredible job fighting for you every single day. And we have been for 3.5 years since I've been governor. And it's been an honor to serve, and we've put a great record to run on together, and that's what we're doing. I did that in the primary, and I'm doing it today, and I'm going to do it for the next 6 days to make sure that Stacey Abrams is not going to be your governor or your next president. We got a few other people in the fight with us besides our great First Lady, Marty Kemp, greatest First Lady in the country. We got 2 of the first daughters with us today, Lucy and Jarrett. My sister, also Julie Reef, is with us. And we got a special guest I'm going to recognize in a minute. But listen, 2 other big partners on our team. One of them that has been in the fight working with local law enforcement, working with our office, working with the Georgia Bureau of Investigation to go after street gangs in our state, but also working with the First Lady, the Grace Commission, and everybody I just named to raise the awareness on ending human trafficking, to go after the perpetrators and support the victims, is our Attorney General Chris Carr and his wife Joan are with us today. And then we're going to make some history on November the 8th, because we're going to elect for the first time a guy that I had the opportunity to appoint several years ago that's done a great job as our insurance commissioner, but he's done much more than that. He's been part of our team just like Chris Carr is. This gentleman is co-chaired the COVID task force we have. He's served in the National Guard literally all over this country, helping our guests secure the southern border, but also doing COVID response and many other things. And he's just been a great friend and a great partner and a great leader. And when we elect him, he's going to be the first elected Hispanic constitutional officer ever in our state's history. And that's my conservative friend, General John King, our insurance commissioner. Listen, y'all, we're doing good in our state because we've been saying no to everything Stacey Abrams wants us to do. We said no when she criticized me for keeping our economy open and reopening small parts that weren't. She said no when we were pushing to get her kids back in the classroom, just like your local educators were here. Because the data in the Trump administration and the data today in the Biden administration, it's the same data. It says our kids need to be in the classroom. Georgia was one of the first states in the country to go back because we were fighting for you and we were fighting for your children. And you had a governor and a state government that was fighting to give you the decision whether to go to work every day, to give you the decision, working with your local school leaders, whether to get your kids back in the classroom. You know, John talked about this. You could go to some states around the country and you could gamble in person in their casinos, yet you could not go to places of worship on Sunday. I mean, that's insanity. They trusted the government in those states more than the people. And see, that's the difference in this race. That's what Stacey Abrams believes, because she believes she knew better than you about whether you could go to work, your kids could be in the classroom, whether you could go to church, whether you need to get vaccinated or not, whether you need to wear a mask or not. And we did not. We trusted you. And that's the way it should be in our state, and it's the way it should be in our country. And we're going to send a message to that effect this coming Tuesday on November the 8th. But listen, she also is the one that said she would defund the police. And in 2018, wrote about her support for ending cash bail. So basically giving a get-out-of-jail-free card. She continues to serve on the boards of organizations today, Sheriff, that are promoting and raising money to push the defund the police movement. I want to be clear, as long as I'm your governor, we're not going to be defunding the police in Georgia. We're going to be supporting our men and women in law enforcement. We are going to be standing with them on the front lines when they need us, and we are going to continue to have their back. And because we have said no, and we were open when Stacey Abrams wanted us to be closed, we've seen 2 record years economically here in Georgia. Lowest unemployment rate in the history of the state, most people ever working. We've seen 74% of the jobs in 2 record years in a row, over $30 billion of investment go to outside the 10 metro counties, giving people in parts of the state like this economic opportunity and prosperity, not only for them, but for generations to come, no matter your zip code or your neighborhood. And because of excess revenue, and because we balanced our budget in this state, we gave a $1 billion tax rebate last year that Representative Smith and I worked on to put money in your pocket to help you deal with 40-year high inflation. And you can see we kept the trains running in the great state of Georgia. But we've done more than that. We have suspended the gas tax since March in Georgia. That applies to railroad fuel. It's saving Georgia consumers when they go to the gas pump and business owners 29 cents a gallon every single day to help you fight through Joe Biden's 40-year high inflation. Y'all can't see the other side of the bus, but there's a sign that says honk if you support Kemp for governor. But we're doing those things to help you fight through 40-year high inflation and bad domestic energy policies by this president that have caused a crisis at the gas pump and a crisis at the border. They have raised your taxes. Thankfully, in Georgia last year, we passed the largest state income tax cut in our state's history in the middle of a pandemic. You're welcome. And if you send us back in January, we're going to go to work again because we've had another record year. We're going to send you another $1 billion of your tax money back to put it in your pocket to help you fight through Joe Biden's inflation. And we're going to do a one-time property tax relief grant. We believe will save most Georgians between 15 and 25% on their property taxes to help you fight through inflation, just keeping a little more money in your pocket. That's going to be another $1 billion of your money that you sent us that we're not going to need. And instead of creating big government programs and raising taxes like they're doing in Washington, we're going to fully fund our government and we're going to give you the money back. I mean, it's very simple. But listen, we have a guy here in Georgia today with us that's been a great leader in his state. He has led the efforts of the coalition and the task force that a bunch of Republican governors are a part of to help solve the crisis at the southern border. He's done so many things out there, I don't even want to get into the list because I know he's here to talk about us winning in Georgia, not what's going on in his state. But he has been a friend of ours. He's been a friend of the state. He's been a friend to conservative governors all over this country. He's been a great leader at the Republican Governors Association, and he's also been a friend of our family. He was here helping us in the primary, and he's back helping us today. So y'all give a warm Bremen welcome to Governor Doug Ducey from the great state of Arizona. Governor.
Thank you. Thank you. When my friend Brian Kemp asked me to come rejoin the bus tour, I told my team, clear the calendar, we're going to Georgia. And the reason I'm here is important. You have a leader that has earned and deserves re-election in Brian Kemp. We all know what a resume and what a 4 years of leadership and courage by reopening Georgia, by cutting your taxes, by getting the kids back in school, and by funding law enforcement. And all we need to do is look at a little bit of Joe Biden and his record to know that Stacey Abrams cannot and will not ever be governor of Georgia. Just think how different the last 4 years would have been. She would have kept this state locked down. Kids would not have gone back to school, and she wants to defund the police. There's a reason that 90% of her dollars are coming from outside Georgia. We know the man that should be the leader of Georgia for the next 4 years. It's the man that's been the leader of Georgia for the past 4 years. So if you will get out and vote for Brian Kemp, we know that he is going to win. But we want to be vigilant. We don't want to leave any stone unturned. And let's not only win this race, but let's win it by a large margin. Brian Kemp is at the top of the ticket, and the bigger his victory is, the bigger the victory is for other Republicans in this state. And I want you to know it's going to be a good year for the good guys across the country. We're going to have Republicans winning in red states. We're going to have our incumbents winning re-election, and we're on offense in blue states all across the country. But let's lead the charge here with Brian Kemp in Georgia. So get out and vote on November 8th.
All right, well, thank y'all again for coming. Let's keep chopping. We got a few minutes trying to take some pictures. If anybody wants them, y'all just come on up, hand the guys your phone. Thank y'all.